Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Our Parliament, and I'm your host, Iguma Gabriel. This program enables you to ask questions about what's going on in Parliament. So let's hear from my audience. I'll take the lady in a blue top.
And my question is directed to Honorable Bagene. As far as the legal justice and crime prevention is concerned, how do you intend to handle the issue of territorial jurisdiction? In other words, if I, here in Uganda, committed a crime in Kenya, would I actually be had in Kenya, or I would have to be extradited? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Samantha. Let's come straight and get an answer to that question. And I will also ask the MP to give a little on that question.
Thank you very much. As you know, we have in existence the East African Court of Justice. And we have been trying, and we continue to try, to extend its jurisdiction from interpreting the provisions of the treaty to dealing with other crimes, including crimes against humanity. Now, at the moment, if you commit a crime in Kenya and you are Ugandan, you will be tried in Kenya where you committed the crime. They cannot bring you into Uganda and try you into Uganda when the crime was committed in Kenya. Now, in order to harmonize our systems, we are looking at harmonization of our laws so that any crime anybody commits anywhere, irrespective of the nationality of that person, the trial will take place in the country where the crime has been committed.
Okay. Honorable Mulengani, you should be the ones who are working on harmonization of laws. Will we see this actually happen in our lifetime?
Thank you very much. The cardinal roles of assemblies is mainly to legislate, to represent, and to do oversight. The area of harmonization of the 5 partner states' laws is the mandate of the councils together with the respective member states. To us as an assembly, one such things that would come in play would be making law to that effect. But you know, in assemblies, when you make law that has got a connotation to finances, consolidated funds, it ceases being a law of a private member but taken over by council. Now, just like the minister explained, I think council passed and summit okayed that let them look at extension of the jurisdiction of the East African Court of Justice to include not only to what Samantha said, but to consider other issues to do with transboundary illegal issues.
Okay, let's take another question. We'll come back to you.
Mine is not a question per se, but information, some of the issues that have emerged, especially from Kasita, in respect to access to information about the integration process. I would want to inform the audience and the viewers that we have got the resource center at the ministry. It has everything you need about the EAC. There are computers, there are books, there is everything, and entrance is free. We encourage everybody, the business community, the students, all Ugandans, to come and access the resource center and get whatever you want about the EAC.
All right, thank you very much.
The issue was about the passport.
Okay.
The passport, the procedure is the same as the Ugandan passport. Just go to Ministry of Internal Affairs, pick forms, fill them, you'll get your EAC passport within a few days.
In fact, I've been told that it's cheaper than the Ugandan passport to get the EAC
and
one.
Perhaps, I think, let me take this opportunity to inform Ugandans that the Council of Ministers took a decision to internationalize the East African passport. And this is expected to take effect next year, so that when you're traveling outside East Africa, you will be entitled to an East African passport.
Honorable Minister, how are you planning for a population you do not know? You're going to give them IDs, you're telling them to travel. You don't know how many they are.
Yes, there is going to be a census to determine the number of Ugandans and at the same time issue Ugandans with identity cards to match other partner states who have issued identity cards.
Does giving Ugandans IDs actually solve the problem, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think we needed more of an ID which was for the region.
All right, let me ask Ephraim. Ephraim, what travel documents are the traders using?
They use the passports.
Mm-hmm. And where there's no passport?
But some can get some temporary permits.
But do they allow Ugandans to use their IDs to cross over? Because we're saying we have a customs union, we have a common market. Do they allow Ugandans to use their IDs to cross over?
We don't have that ID.
Not yet.
Oh. No, let me explain this. We agreed that we can use identity cards as travel documents. But it so happens that in Uganda we don't have IDs. And so what has been agreed as a temporary measure is to use things like voters' cards to enable you travel for the time being until we produce a machine-readable identity cards.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Let's take a question from the lady.
My question is directed to Honorable Bagaine. Mr. Sentamu talked about goods being dumped at the Kenyan border.
The sugar issue, right?
Yes, the sugar issue. Goods that have been actually cleared by our own body, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. So is there a standardized version of these bodies so that they do not waste traders' time and money, and also, of course, much needed revenue for our country?
Honorable Minister, many of the questions will come to you, and I hope this makes you see that people actually are interested.
Yes, well, and I'm pleased to see this. You see, it takes two to tango. Right? Now, you see, we talk about Kenya refusing entry of goods from Uganda. But we also have refused goods from Kenya, although they are grown, if it is foodstuff, or manufactured in Kenya. Recently, I had a case coming to my office where rice grown from Tanzania was refused entry unless full taxes of 88% were paid before it could be sold in Uganda. And I had to intervene because we sent a team, they verified and certified that this rice was grown in Tanzania. You see, the problem we have and which we're trying to address is that some of our people in the various agencies sometimes do things contrary to what we would like to see being done. And these are introduction of taxes where they should not be, non-tariff barriers where they should not be. And we're constantly fighting this. But I'm hoping that at the end of the day, we shall have a system that is designed in such a way that things move smoothly without us being drawn back.